Good morning. First of all, congratulations to all of you for setting your clocks appropriately. We're going to start our service off here at Unity Church of the Hills by celebrating the gloriousness that you are, and also, again, for getting here on time this morning. When you come into God's presence, lifting up the joy of spirit, and you hear the music playing, and you see the people praising, just forget about your worries, let your troubles fall behind you. Don't you wait another minute, just get up and on your feet and get to dancing, singing, jumping, leaping, get to shouting, make it loud and make it glorious. Start rejoicing, praising, lifting, raising, get to shouting, make it loud and make God's praise glorious, glorious. When you come into God's presence, lifting up the joy of spirit, and you hear the music playing, and you see the people praising, just forget about your worries, let your troubles fall behind you. Don't you wait another minute, just get up and onto your feet and get to dancing, singing, jumping, leaping, get to shouting, make it loud and make it glorious. Start rejoicing, praising, lifting, raising, get to shout it, make it loud and make God's praise, get to dancing, singing, jumping, leaping, get to shout it, make it loud and make it glorious. Start rejoicing, praising, lifting, raising, get to shout it, make it loud and make God's praise glorious, glorious. To make your praise glorious. Oh yes, I was created to make your praise glorious, glorious. Yes, I was, yes, I was. I was created to make your praise glorious. Yes, I was, hey, I was created to make your praise glorious, glorious. Yes, I was, yes, I was. I was created to make your praise glorious, glorious. I was created to make your praise glorious, glorious. Yes, I was, yes, I was. I was created to make your praise glorious. I was created to make your praise glorious, glorious. Yes, I was, yes, I was. I was created to make your praise glorious.
Thank you, band. Oh, there it is. All right, good morning, everyone. I'd also like to welcome our online participants, those of you who did not make it in this morning. We totally understand. If you're here for the first time this morning and you feel comfortable raising your hand, showing us where you are, we would love to greet you. Yay, there's some new people. Welcome. If you look on the pew back in front of you, there are some QR codes that you can scan and fill out a connection form. There are also paper cards in the foyer that you can fill out. And for those of us who are here every week, if you see someone you haven't met, especially someone with a red trimmed name badge, be sure to greet them, welcome them, and introduce yourself. So here are this week's announcements. Our amazing YFM volunteers are getting ready for our annual Easter egg hunt. The good news is we got plenty of eggs. The bad news is nobody likes to open an egg with no candy. So please donate some candy if you can. Bring candy to the foyer through March 29th. Please don't bring any nuts or hard candies. And thank you for your sweet support. Today, join us in Friendship Hall after the service for the UCOH family potluck. Please don't worry if you didn't bring anything. Come and make yourself a plate and chat and visit and make some new friends. Politics can be a challenging subject within family conversations, and they can also present opportunities for deeper understanding. On Saturday, March 14th, Braver Angels is offering a workshop that provides practical tools for engaging in these conversations with understanding and care. Are you having trouble with your technology, with QR codes, online giving, or finding out about events at UCOH? Join Anaya and Jennifer Chavez in room 139 on Sunday, March 15th after the 11 a.m. service for Scan, Click, Connect. We'll offer some tips and tricks to help you get connected. We are so fortunate to have jazz saxophonist Paul Klemperer to kick off our spring patio concert series on Friday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Invite a friend, grab your lawn chairs and snacks, and get ready for some great music and fun. All right, now it's time to join me in our welcome blessing and congregation greeting. So, if you will, join me. We love you, we bless you, we welcome you, and we behold the Christ you are. Now, please, everyone, stand and greet others around you.
now, as we're standing, let us continue with that energy and sing our opening song, Open the Eyes of My Heart. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Good morning, family. Let's pray. I invite you to take the deepest breath you have taken all day and release it, arriving in this moment now, nowhere to be, nothing else to do, just being here in this moment now. That happens only once and is the biggest gift. As you're taking your breath, I invite you to loosen up your body and the mind and allowing that breath to rejuvenate and nourish every single cell in the body. Saying, thank you, mind, for working so hard. You can rest now. Thank you, body, for carrying me around and allowing me to enjoy this life with all the senses. You can rest now. And in that space, allowing the heart to be activated now. And I invite you to affirm, silently or out loud, I am here. I am open. I am listening. I am one with God. God and I are one. Love and I are one. And as today we're allowing to be rejoiced in the celebration International Women's Day, I honor and bow in gratitude to every single woman that is here today, and allowing to be honored that essence of femininity in every single one of us, regardless of the gender, that essence of intuition and nurturing and love and creativity, remembering that the most profound creative work of art is life itself. So may we remember to live a masterpiece, co-creating together in unity, and remembering that with God, all things are possible. And so it is. Amen.
Blind man, open your heart and see. Those who live in silence, listen, hear, and speak. You have lain so long in pain, take up your bed and walk. All of these things you can do in my name, for you are a child of God. And greater things than these, greater things than these. Whatever you claim in my love and my name, you will do greater things than these. Lonely, weary and with disease, truly I say you are worthy, love's power to receive. When you love, you seek, then love you shall find. Love is the great command. Any door you knock on will be open to you. The kingdom is in your hand. And greater things than
Greater things than these.
greater things than
Greater things than these.
whatever you claim by my love and my name, you will do greater things than these. When you look through the eyes of fear, and fear is all you will see. But look out now through the eyes of love, and miracles come to be. Greater things than these, greater things than these. Whatever you claim in my love and my name, you will do greater things than these. Whatever you claim by my love and my name, you will do greater things than these.
Thank you, band. Thank you guys for doing that song. I mean, I just want to acknowledge these guys over here, because not only are they amazing musicians, but they are such great, really open vessels for these things. And I love that you were willing to. I gave them that song sometime earlier this week, and they learn it, they do it beautifully, and it's just amazing to have musicians of that quality. and and it's not common, so thank you guys for that. So today I'm going to continue with the Lenten series that I began last week, and it's based on Adyashanti's book, Resurrecting Jesus, Embodying the Spirit of a Revolutionary Mystic. And Adyashanti is a Buddhist teacher, if you're not familiar with him. He looks at the story of Jesus through the lens of metaphor and metaphysics and from a Buddhist perspective as a journey of awakening. And he asks us to go into the story for ourselves and see ourselves in the story and maybe see how that story, that journey of Jesus' life can represent what we also may go through and experience in our own lives. Hopefully not as dramatically in some ways as Jesus, but certainly in ways that help us to awaken to our own divinity. He says in the book, I have a quote here, he says that Jesus was a revolutionary. He wanted to break down the lines of separation between people, between heaven and earth, between human and divine. So in that way, Jesus was a revolutionary. He wanted to break down those boundaries. And he also says in the book, as I just alluded to, the Jesus story is a map of the journey that happens within us. It's an invitation to live out the radiance that's revealed when we have the courage to step out beyond anything and everything that separates us. So again, our opportunity is to look at the story of Jesus. And of course, in Unity, we also look at these stories through the lens of metaphysics. And Unity metaphysics invites us to see ourselves in all of the characters that are represented in the stories, any story in the Bible that we can read and review and kind of look at. How can I see myself in that? Excuse me, and last week, I explored one of what Adyashanti says is one of the major themes in the story, which is to be in the world but not of the world. And I used the story of where Jesus comes to be baptized and then goes into the wilderness to face Satan. Of course, we look at that, as I looked at that last week, as a way that we come into our own understanding of our past, integrating our past, coming to some resolution, some reconciliation of our past experiences, our past conditioning, awakening to that, incorporating that, including and transcending that in a way, so that we awaken more fully to our own spiritual intelligence and emotional intelligence. And then we move into another area of that where we come into the personification. Satan is a personification of our own illusions, our own Maya, our own doubts and fears and worries, and how we come face to face with that and embrace that and also then move out from there. So they're all opportunities for us to embrace and reconcile and come to terms with our own conditioning, however that might appear to us. At least that's the way I'm looking at the story today. I want to remind us that I don't know how you might see the story as applying in your own life. There's no right or wrong way to do metaphysical interpretation or to do maieutic interpretation that we learned in ministerial school. Questioning how does that reveal something that's happening in me right now? Looking at it from that perspective. And so today I want to explore another theme that he says is prevalent in the Jesus story, especially as Jesus goes from the wilderness experience into his healing ministry. And that theme is, he terms it engaged spirituality, which I love. I really resonate with that idea of engaging our spirituality in our day-to-day living. And what the story reveals to us, and has revealed to me, is what I want to share with you today. And maybe you can relate to some of this as well. But if you remember in the story, if you're not familiar with the story, and it's a reminder for some of you who might be, that Jesus comes out of the wilderness and he begins his healing ministry. And he encounters someone who is blind. And he encounters someone who is deaf. And he encounters someone who is experiencing the disease of leprosy, which leprosy is a disease. It's a disease that causes sores on the body and causes neuropathy, loss of feeling, nerve damage to the body. And then he encounters someone who doesn't have the use of his legs. And in the presence of Jesus in the story, Jesus never said, "I healed." He always says, "Your faith made you whole." But in the presence of his energy, in the presence of his consciousness, and in the presence of his engaged spirituality, the one who was blind began to see. And the one who did not have hearing, his hearing was restored. And feeling was reawakened in the one that was experiencing leprosy. And the one who was not able to walk was able to stand and walk and move, to be mobile. And when I look at that story through the lens of metaphysics and the lens of maieutic interpretation, and I'm looking at how can I apply the story in my life today? How is it showing up for me today? And how can I see every aspect of the story as applying to me in some way? What I see for me is that when I encounter the world, when I encounter the things that are happening in the world today, when I encounter the violence that is occurring, the homelessness that is occurring, the suffering that is occurring in the world today, sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I want to be blind to it. Sometimes I want to close my eyes and pretend that it doesn't exist. Sometimes I want to cover my ears so that I don't hear the cries of people crying out for help. Sometimes I want to numb out and not feel the fear and the worry and the suffering, and not feel my own sadness or my own despair sometimes. And sometimes I feel immobilized, like the man who was unable to walk, because I don't know what to do, or I say there's nothing I can do, or for some reason I'm afraid to step out and do what I can do. So I can see in myself some blindness, some unwillingness to hear, some unwillingness or inability to really feel my own feelings when it comes to what's going on in the world. And I can certainly sometimes see myself as that one who just wants to sit and not do anything. But I believe that what the story is calling us to is engaged spirituality. That I believe in that way that when we open to that radiance, the I am that is within us, it calls us to do it differently. It calls me to do it differently. It calls me to approach these things from a more clearly connected spiritual presence. And what I mean by that is that I believe engaged spirituality asks me to truly see. To truly see and name what is happening in the outer. To not blind myself to what is going on in the world. It's not about burying my head in the sand. It's not about turning away from it. It's about the power of really naming it and seeing it for what it is. But it also invites us to have a way of seeing it from a different perspective. It's not about spiritual bypassing, which sometimes I would love to do. It's not about just putting on rose-colored glasses and just pretending. But it is for us in our teaching about really seeing through the eyes of Spirit to what is the possible, what is the potential, or what is the divine idea that is wanting to be expressed through whatever it is that we are witnessing. Thank you very much. Let there be darkness. Does that mean I'm done for the day? Yes, so get off the stage and shut up. Is that what you're saying? Now, where was I? But opening our spiritual eyes to see that divine essence that is wanting to be experienced. Eric Butterworth talks so beautifully about that. In the midst of illness, there's wholeness. In the midst of conflict, there's peace. In the midst of whatever is going on, there is a divine idea just wanting to be expressed, wanting to be revealed. And our opportunity as truth students, as unity truth students, is to see the truth. To not ignore what's going on, but to see the potential and the possibility. Open our eyes. Open our eyes and see. Open the eyes of my heart, as the song was just saying. See with the eyes of the heart what's possible. Not be defined by what is happening, but allow ourselves to hold the vision for the possible. In the midst of conflict, peace is the divine idea wanting to be expressed. In the midst of illness, wholeness, healing wants to be expressed. Our opportunity is to see it clearly. When I want to just close my ears and not listen to what's going on in the world, what's in the news, or what the cries of the world for help and healing are about. Engaged spirituality asks us, ask me, to hear with the ears of my heart. I love what A Course in Miracles says about that everything is love, or it is a call for love or a cry for help. Are we willing to see, to hear that through the rhetoric, through the judgments, through the things that we might hear that we want to judge, that might trigger something of fear and worry and doubt within us? I know it's sometimes challenging to hear it that way, but engaged spirituality, I believe, invites us into, can I hear everything as either an expression of love or a cry for love? Call for love or cry for help. Yeah? And I believe in that we receive our healing. We receive our healing, which means that we are willing to bring together that spiritual knowing and our human expression and our human perspective and truly heal the divide that sometimes occurs in those expressions. That's where healing really occurs. So we get to heal ourselves, our own perceptions, our own perspective on the world when we hear with the heart. And again, I think sometimes, I know, I don't want to feel that pain. I don't want to feel the pain of the world. Because really, it's not the pain of the world I'm feeling, it's the pain of my pain. We are one. And when somebody else is feeling pain, I can close myself off to that, or I can allow myself to feel the pain. I like to numb out sometimes, watching TV, doing things that just, I just don't get to, I don't have to think about it. But I believe that our healing comes, the healing between our spiritual nature, the I am that I am, and our human nature really comes in the willingness to feel whatever is being stimulated within us. Michael Singer talks about that a great deal in The Untethered Soul and the Surrender Experiment. He talks about how important it is for us to allow the feelings, which are energy. Everything is energy. Feelings are energy. And when we allow those feelings to move through us, feeling them all the way through, then they don't get stuck in our energy field and create what he talks about as samskaras, or blocks of energy. So when I don't feel my feelings, when I don't feel the pain, and Eckhart Tolle talks about that as well, that gets stuck in what he calls the pain body. And so the pain body is this energy field that then when somebody does something or says something that touches on that, then I have a reaction to that. But what if I allow it to feel all the way through? Feel all the feels. Not just the ones that I think feel good. And so it's important for me, for us, in our spiritual understanding to recognize that our humanness can reveal to us and through us our divinity. But not if we're holding on to old feelings, old resentments, old energy that we're not yet allowing to pass through us. I love this idea that we can, when it shows up, I can acknowledge it, I can name it, I can name the feeling. I'm feeling, sometimes when I watch the news or I hear something and I'm flipping through my phone, I see something and anger just comes up in me immediately. So do I then numb myself out so I don't feel the anger? Do I go watch TV? Do I do something else so that anger just stays in me? Or do I name it? Do I say, man, anger is arising in me? I'm not going to identify to say, I am angry. But I'm going to say, anger is arising in me. I'm aware of the anger that I'm feeling right now. Take a moment and feel where it is in your body. You know you feel emotions in your body, don't you? We feel them in our body. Can we feel them in our body? Breathe into them. Allow them to be there and express it. I mean, I'm not going to suggest that you yell at somebody else. You might yell at the TV. Allow yourself to feel it, to express it. Go outside and scream and yell as loud as you want to. Your neighbors might be scared, but, maybe go, do something. Get that energy out of the body. Allow yourself to feel it. It's so important for us to feel our feelings, not numb out. And then our opportunity, rather than just saying immobilized, if we're willing to see it, if we're willing to see the truth, if we're willing to see the divine idea, if we're willing to hear with the heart and hear everything as love or call for love or cry for help, if we're really willing to feel our feelings, then we're engaged in our humanity. And we're engaged in our humanity and through our spirituality. So we're not only engaging our spirituality, we're engaging our humanity, and then we're able then to stand in that. Not to be immobilized, not to just sit on our meditation cushion, but to stand in the truth of that and then move out and do what we're called to do. It's not about just sitting back and just allowing things to happen. I do believe, yes, we want to connect with the possibility, the potential and the possibility of the universe. It's all possible with God. And we connect with that when we're willing to see, when we're willing to hear, when we're willing to feel into that. And in that, we are inspired, I believe, that inspired action to move out with hope and possibility. I believe all of that can inspire hope within us. And then we get to ignite within us what Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, talked about as the 12 powers. We get to ignite that within us. Love, the power of love that abides right here in the heart. We can ignite that within us because it is the very essence of our spiritual nature. All of these powers that he discerned and defined and talked about are powers that are within us, facilities, tools that are part of our Christ nature, our spiritual nature. Not one of us does not have all of them. Did I say that right? We all have it. There's no one who doesn't have it. So we get to ignite that within us, the love that is compassion and empathy and forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a powerful expression of love. I love what Arco Erico, I know I've shared this with you before, talks about the Aramaic word for forgiveness really means to untie the knots that bind. Again, going back to those energy, those stored energies that we have within us, creating knots of energy within our field. Imagine that. Imagine that your forgiveness is just kind of untying those knots that are in your energy field. You're not doing it for anyone else. You're doing it for you to open yourself up. So empathy, compassion, kindness comes from our hearts. And then we get to ignite our power of imagination. Our power of imagination. Charles Fillmore talks about that as a primal power that we all have as human beings. To envision the possible. To see it unfolding. To see all of what we desire to happen. To use our power, it's visualization. What do we choose to bring forth upon this plane of existence? If we don't like what we see, we have a power of imagination to imagine the possible. Igniting our power of will to choose it. To choose it every moment. To ignite our power of strength. Because sometimes it does take perseverance, persistence. It doesn't, at least, well, for me, it takes persistence, perseverance, to continue to open my eyes, to listen, to feel, to vision, to stay focused on the possible. And to take those actions that we need to take. And our power of zeal. Zeal, enthusiasm. I was reminded this week in a class I started how excited I was. How excited I was when I first started learning about these teachings, about new thought, about the possibilities of how we co-create our lives, the power of our thinking, the power of our feeling, the power of the law acting upon our thoughts and feelings. And how excited I was to learn that, coming from a more traditional Christian church. And how excited I was to learn that God is love. And God is everything and everywhere. And so my desire, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes I have lost that excitement. I have begun sometimes to take things for granted. But it's so important, I believe, for us to approach our lives with enthusiasm and zeal. You remember, enthusiasm in theos, in God, in the divine. And to begin every day with that enthusiasm. I don't know about you, when I got up at 5:30 this morning, I was thinking, oh my God, it's morning already. But what if I got up and said, good morning? What is this day going to bring? And use the power of my vision to envision it, my imagination, to hold that vision, to open my heart, to see and to hear, and to feel all the feels that come my way, without judgment, without resistance, and listen for that voice, still small voice, that speaks within and says, as it said to Jesus, you are my child in which I am well pleased. But I don't think it stops there. It says, now go and do the work. Go into the world and be that expression of the divine. Go into the world engaged in your own spiritual nature and engage the world. Because that is how we make changes. Our opportunity is to do that. As our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, is so famously quoted as saying, I have to find it again, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do all that is to be done by me. I fairly sizzle. Are you sizzling? Are you fairly sizzling? I remember Charles Fillmore said this in his 90s. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth. I love that idea. Springing forth. When I think about springing forth, I think about Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, right? Have the energy of Tigger, just the wonderful thing about Tigger is the Tiggers are wonderful things. I love that. Anyway, off track. I spring forth to do all that is to be done by me. Not by somebody else, but by me. And how do we know what is to be done by us? We listen, we follow, we say yes to Spirit. So in closing today, I want to invite you, if this is something that you are physically able to do, if not, I invite you to do it within your own thinking and imagination. So this is what it's the movements that this is going to be a body prayer. And the way it goes is this. Eyes and ears, hands on your shoulders, hands over your heart, hands like this on your solar plexus, and then sweeping down, coming together, and reaching out. And what this says is, all that I see, all that I hear, all that I feel, I receive into my loving, compassionate heart. I forgive all that I am ready and willing to forgive. I release all that doesn't serve the highest good. I awaken to my divine nature, and I reach out to serve where So let's take a moment and just do that once again. All that I see, all that I hear, all that I feel, I receive into my loving, compassionate heart. I forgive all that I am willing and ready to forgive. I release all that doesn't serve the highest good. I awaken to my divine nature, and I reach out to serve where I am able. And so it is. So let's take a moment and take a breath, breathing deeply into the heart, allowing our prayer to be, I open the eyes and the ears and the feelings of my heart right here, right now. And I am willing to see with the eyes of my humanness, and I'm willing to open my spiritual eyes to see the truth, the possible, the potential inherent in the divine. I open my ears and I hear everything that I hear as love, or as a call for love, or cry for help. I feel my feelings all the way through. I open myself to be guided, to awaken my powers, my innate spiritual powers of love and imagination and will and strength and zeal, to move forward with hope as I listen and I am guided to what is mine to do, moment by moment. And in that awareness, we go into a short time of silent reflection. As we listen, we hear, we open our hearts to see, to hear, to feel, to be guided. Take a conscious breath. Just being aware that you are perfectly human, perfectly divine, living in the fullness and the wholeness of your expression right here, right now. Being present for every moment. Being present in every moment. Being fully present in the world, knowing you are not of the world, but being fully present in the world, engaging your spiritual nature and engaging your humanity and engaging with the world. a spirit in form, embodied. And in that awareness, we are open to receive, open to move, open to act, to speak, to stand. And we are so grateful. Grateful for our willingness, our openness. As you take a conscious breath, I feel guided to invite us to stand and do that body prayer one more time as we end this time together. And let's do it in silence, just allowing yourself to hold the meaning for yourself. And so it is. Please be seated.
Release, I let go in the silence of my soul. I release and let go, oh my soul. I release.
Let's take a breath together. So now is the time when we receive our gifts and offerings. I want to just remind us that again we are continuing with our experiment of doing it a little differently, collecting the offering as you leave, collecting the offering through electronic giving. And if you have a smartphone, you can scan the code there on the QR code and be directed to the website where you can give. I just want to remind us that in giving, we give as source. We give as the source of good, the source of energy, the source of life, the source of money, the source that empowers this ministry to continue to share this message, the unity message that truly is life-changing and life-saving and empowering for so many people. So your gifts and offerings, your tithes, your time, your talent, all that you give here is in support of that. And so as we are reminded of that, let us say our offertory blessing together. Take a breath. Breathe it into your heart. And rather than just repeating this by rote, because I know sometimes we can do that, let's just truly embody the words. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
I used to think that I could not go on, life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of a true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes the silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, oh yes, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Yes. 'Cause I believe in me. Yes. Oh. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there is nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I believe I can fly.
Thank you. So let's see, I want to remind you that we do have prayer chaplains here today. Every Sunday, we have one who will be in the sanctuary after service. The other will be in the chapel. If you're not familiar with our campus, it's out these doors to the left, down the hall, to the right, and keep going, and you'll find the chapel. There's also prayer cards in the lobby. If you go out the doors to the left, there's a table right outside. You can fill out a prayer request card, put it in the box. Know that it is prayed for here at Unity Church of the Hills, and it's sent to Silent Unity, and it's where it's prayed for another 30 days. I want to thank our prayer chaplains for holding the consciousness and being here to support us through prayer. They are an amazing part of this ministry, so thank you all for that. I want to say goodbye to our online participants. Thank you for joining us today. We so appreciate you, whether you're joining us here on Sunday morning or anytime after that. We are so grateful that you're part of this ministry. Now let's take the opportunity.
The presence of God watches. The presence of God. The presence of God. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.